Coming up on Dine and Dish Nation, named one of Food and Wine's Restaurants of the Year for 2018, we set sail with Voyager in Ferndale. It's coastal chic seafood. An elegant eatery with contemporary French-American dishes. We're headed to Cuisine in Detroit, where classy and cozy are the perfect combination. And it ain't food if it ain't fried. It's Brush Park's new open-air hangout, Second Best. Hi, I'm Kam Carman, and welcome to Dine and Dish Nation, where we explore the fabulous eateries of Detroit and beyond, where we celebrate the culinary genius that's feeding America's comeback city. Thanks for joining us as we welcome reviewers from our community who've come together to dish about their favorite local restaurants. Dine and Dish Nation works like this. Every week we ask 3 guests, people just like you, to check out 3 local dining establishments. We are not food snobs here. We're just real people talking about real food and offering real reviews. We're here at our home base for Dine and Dish Nation, Republic Tavern, where an eclectic menu equals rustic chic in downtown Detroit. Locally sourced ingredients are key, and it's located in the corner of an historic castle. Okay, here we go. This week we're welcoming advertising and marketing executive Paul Biondi, Leah Jones, who's an administrative assistant, and former school teacher Melanie Mily. First up, it's been called one of the 10 most exciting places to eat in America now. Voyager in Ferndale is off the beaten path, but worth the journey.
Hi, I'm Emily. I am a host and manager here at Voyager. It's an oyster bar, so have an oyster. If you don't like oysters, there's a bunch of other options for you, but I think that if you step foot in here, you should at least try one, just one. It's like a fast casual type of restaurant. Everything is smaller plates and is intended to be shared. So the menu changes quite a bit. It changes at least once a week with new items being added and taken away, just based off of the availability of fresh produce, and whatever fish is in season is what we feature. And it's all sustainably farmed. All of our seafood is tied to table in 24 hours, so we have the freshest ingredients. The owner wanted to create a space that could be embraced by our neighbors, and he wanted to make everything really approachable, and I think that's something that we've stuck to. We have a really amazing staff here who really love what we're doing. And our kitchen staff, our chefs Jen and Justin, there's so much love in their food. So I think that the experience is what makes Voyager different, because there's so much love and care in everything that we do. And we just really, truly want our guests to leave happy and enjoy what we're doing and keep coming back.
Voyager is a really cool place, and it's new, and it's getting all kinds of accolades from other restaurants and all over the country. What did you think about it?
We had the hush puppies.
Oh yes, I did see those.
So
yes,
good,
yes.
and it just gave that really old world kind of down south solid hush puppy taste, but the corn and crab, to die for.
Yeah.
Simply to die for. We also ordered the crab spaghetti, and she said, our waiter was very knowledgeable with saying how it's a Szechuan dish, and what Szechuan chilies do, they deaden your taste buds.
Oh.
So they will actually purposely put it at the end of the meal, so that way you can fully enjoy all of your other entrees that you ordered. So I thought that was really knowledgeable. They do know their food.
Paul, what'd you have?
Started with the oysters. They brought out a platter of a variety of different ones, and the neat thing about oysters is you don't just swallow them. Give them a chance, taste them. chew them.
Experience
them. They have different flavors. It's not just lemon, squeeze a lemon and put some cocktail sauce on it and get it down. You really need to appreciate what it is that goes into this. So, started with oysters, steak tartare, amazing. It was, anytime you go into steak tartare, you need to make sure that, they know what they're doing.
Yes.
They know what they're doing.
And what you're prepared for.
What you're prepared for.
It's raw. Let's make no joke.
But it was as good as any steak I've ever had.
Really? Awesome. Melanie, how about you? What'd you have?
So we started with the hush puppies also. They were just out of this world. And then I also had the catch of the day. It was the wild salmon. This was pan-seared, and so it had a very crisp texture to it, and it was real crunchy when you ate it. It was delicious. It's probably the best salmon I've ever had.
Wow,
And it was served.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a salmon connoisseur. So it was served in a bowl with a salmon bone broth with mushrooms and some sea beans. It was magnificent. I loved it. And then I did have dessert.
Okay, let's hear.
I always have dessert. I had the baked apple upside down cake. It's kind of like a pineapple upside down cake. So you had the sweetness of the caramel, and then you had the tart of the apple, and then on top they sprinkled it with pistachio nuts. So you had the kind of crunchy taste to it. So it was delicious.
Definitely recommend the happy hour. Definitely recommend just going there, experiencing that kind of
Vibe.
Ferndale vibe.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a great,
yes.
it is really, it's a fun area too.
It was really, really welcoming.
It is a small place.
Yes.
And it's
Very
busy.
intimate.
Yeah, very intimate. Yes, let's say that. Yeah.
The kitchen's right there.
Yes, and it's open to.
It's all very open, and you're able to sort of have a community environment.
Yes.
Where everybody is there experiencing the same things, maybe for the first time.
Right.
Because it is so new.
And so busy, but it's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very well.
The atmosphere, it gave me a coastal feel to it.
Yes.
Everything was light and airy, but it was in whites and the aquas. It reminded me of being by the sea.
And it's a little bit hidden. It's
is.
it's kind
It
of
is.
a
Oh, it's
an
the
adventure
best.
getting there.
It's the best hidden gem. I
Right.
would never even know it was
No.
there.
Right.
So it's basically tucked into the neighborhood, kind of like a little neighborhood bar. But
Yeah.
this is a seafood and oyster bar. So those people are pretty lucky. They can
Yeah,
just walk
right.
up and
Yes,
have a
exactly.
cocktail and
Sure.
seafood. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The atmosphere, the ambiance, and the food.
I thought it was one of the best experiences I've had eating out in a long time.
Wonderful.
And a lot of the things on the menu, it wouldn't be something that I would order.
No.
But after talking with the bartender and the waiters and all that, it's really something that I would go back and try again.
And now on to our second stop. It's a hidden gem in Detroit in a restored mansion on Lothrop. Cuisine is unpretentious and comfortable, perfect for European fare and fine wines.
I'm Paul Gross. I'm the chef owner of Cuisine restaurant. So I trained in France and traveled all over Europe pretty extensively, and what I noticed there that I didn't see in Detroit was they have a unique restaurant in an urban setting where the chef is in the kitchen. He's the owner, he's the chef, and he's producing the meals of the evening. So I wanted to bring that concept to Detroit. By now, look at, there's so many of us now. So we're on a couple different levels on the dining experience here. One is we're right across the street from the Fisher Theater, so we do draw the theater crowd. But also we're here for many things really. You can come into the bar, have a quick appetizer, you can get in and out, or we also offer a luxurious tasting menu, 8 or 10 courses. We have an extensive wine list, so it's really a fun experience. We try to supply the need of the customer pertaining to what they want. We'll come out and ask questions. Like I'll come out in the dining room and it's not to gather accolades or compliments, it's to get the discussion going between guest and chef on where food trends may be going, what they may be looking for, what they like, but maybe what they didn't like. It's a communication that I think is vital. And in most restaurants you don't get that, where you can talk straight with the chef and get that information one-on-one. We're entering our 18th year, So we opened in 2001. The landscape in Detroit restaurant scene was much different than it is today, but it's been great. It's an evolution, really. And it's great to be a part of it, still be relevant. We still have the attention of the consumer, and it's a wonderful thing.
I had gone to Cuisine, and it was so romantic and wonderful, and it was a perfect date night. Beautiful in there, and very elegant, and you know, kind of prestigious. What did you think of that place?
I love how it still kind of had that prestigious atmosphere to it, but it also wasn't pretentious. So you know you're in a fancy restaurant,
yes,
but you know that you're not going to get penalized for using the wrong fork.
Right, which you won't be judged.
Right.
It's judgment-free zone.
Judgment-free zone, enjoying great food, again, like a great atmosphere, very friendly wait staff. They know what they're talking about, and because it's right across from the Fisher Theater,
yes,
they have their menu that they do specifically for whatever is getting played at the Fisher at the
whatever
time.
show you're seeing.
Which is awesome, and
Very
it
cool.
shows that it keeps it vibrant. I had actually started out with the Sazerac for a drink, and a little bit kind of old school drink, has a little bit of an absinthe taste to it, but it seemed to pair well with everything I ate. And I happened to order for myself the diver scallops. 3 diver scallops, more than enough, because they're nice and meaty, and they come on this rice cake, which was just such a good pairing with the textures between the buttery scallops and the kind of more crispy, creamy of the rice cakes. It was just so delicious, and you just felt like, oh, I could eat there all day. You'd be rolling a little bit through life, but you'd be very happy.
Right. How about you, Melanie? What'd you have?
I took my boyfriend, and so it was very romantic. I went for the theater menu also. And they did have a nice regular menu, but I thought I'd try the theater menu because there were 3 courses. My main dish, I had the halibut, the Alaskan halibut. Oh, it was fresh. It had no fishy taste at all. It was firm, and it was on, they called it, I think it was a celery puree. Yeah, it was excellent, and I love halibut. Then my boyfriend did have the chocolate sorbet, so I'm a dessert lover, so I did try that, and oh my gosh, it was like eating a fudgicle, a fudge bar.
Yum.
It was so thick and creamy, and a sorbet is usually made with ice, and it's non-dairy, and so just by the taste of it, it was real good. It was real creamy, and I really enjoyed that too. And
That's
they had
great.
a raspberry on top.
How about you, sir?
Well, I wanted to try a little bit of everything, so just kind of, started off with a martini, very dry. Seemed like it went with the room.
It did, yes.
And it did, and the bartender was excellent at mixing it, so that was the jumping off point, and then the grilled Brussels sprouts, which is a nice way to prepare them because it gives it a little bit of a crunchiness on the outside, supplemented or complemented by the maple syrup glaze with bacon bits. And then in a setting like that, I really love a good steak.
Yes.
And they had a filet that was on the menu, medium rare, of course. And it came out very soft and buttery and juicy, and just really took it to the next level when it came to everything that came before it. So, and then a second martini.
Of course.
When I heard we were going to Cuisine, I got very excited because this has been a go-to place for me for as long as it's been for you. Kind of the original pioneer of the restaurant scene in Detroit. It's been there that long, and it's still doing great.
Yes.
Close to the theater, which is perfect because they get the theater crowd.
Yes.
They know that you're there for a reason. You've got a set amount of time. They make sure that you're in and out, but you have a special dining experience while you're there.
It's something that like a truly heart of Detroit kind of place, just with the history, and you just feel very comfortable there, and it's truly a home.
It
It's
is,
like
yes.
it's like you're eating in
Right.
someone's house.
Right. It's
And it used to be owned by the Fisher family. And so then they redid it, I think in the 1920s
Right.
was when they built it and that. But yeah, it was a really nice experience, and I enjoyed the dining and everything about it.
It's cool to have just a nice little cozy restaurant right in the middle of a neighborhood.
Right.
it's a great place if you ever want to go to the theater, or even if you're just in the neighborhood.
Yes.
I know it'll be my to-go place
Yeah.
if I'm ever going to the theater.
Oh yes, for sure.
For sure.
Now for our final pick of the week, it's a neighborhood hangout with a retro theme. From the Tiffany lampshades to Jaeger bombs and kamikazes, second best rocks.
I'm Eric Sanderson. I'm the chef de cuisine of Second Best Bar in Detroit. Well, we kind of offer a little different version of bar food, essentially, all handcrafted and a little bit more upscale, if you will. Taking simple bar food ideas and turning them into our own little spin on that. I think we definitely have a leg up on a lot of different food menus at bars in the city. On our weekends, we definitely have a younger, more party crowd coming through. And then during the week, we do have a lot more people that are interested in the food, coming in and hanging out for a couple hours, playing games, things like that. But yeah, we just wanted to have like a space that is fun interaction. We have the games, we've got taxidermy all around. It's kind of like your dad's basement, just to kind of create a nice neighborhood feel. So this building was once an auto garage, and kind of in homage to that, we put our garage doors in the same position that they were originally. And then we kind of also left some of the raw concrete, drive with consideration, still written on the wall from it originally. We just had to reshade it. Something that I think really sets us apart from just other bars that are popping up around the city is just the quality and care when it comes down to the food and the service. And then too, when it comes down to how we interact with our guests, our bartenders and service staff. Hospitality is our number one thing. People come in this door like to be able to relax, have a good time, and be treated with great hospitality.
What a fun idea Second Best is. It's just, you know, small and cozy. It's just like a bar without the bar food that you normally would expect. What did you have to eat?
Well, we definitely wanted to try the pizza puff du jour is how they describe it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the way they described it is not your dorm room hot pocket.
I love that.
Carries it through very
Yeah, I
nicely.
love
It's
that.
very light, but it's still got a lot of pizza punch to it.
Right. Mhm.
The Greek salad was special in a way that I hadn't experienced before. Beets can be a little earthy.
Sure, yes, they
They
can.
they
Yes.
do their own beets in house, where they'll roast them so that
Mm-hmm.
they have a little bit. They take that away and bring in more of a balsamic experience to the dish. So my dinner companion mentioned that it was the best Greek salad she'd ever had. They have a pork shish kebab that was reminiscent of a souvlaki, but it was pork, and it was very tender and very flavorful and very juicy, and certainly packed a lot of flavor inside of it. So beyond that, we had their 7-layer deviled eggs.
Yes, I have heard of those. Yes, I have.
Incredible. It was just a flavor explosion from start to finish. So, and then the hush puppies.
Hush puppies.
That's what
Okay.
it was.
Okay.
Also, just, you know, you can't go wrong. Whatever you order is going to be really a new experience and a new flavor sensation from beginning to end.
What I liked about it, it was your neighborhood bar, but it wasn't like a burger joint.
Right.
So everything there was small plates, and they were also all different. And I had the smoked shrimp dip that they smoke the shrimp in-house, and it's mixed with mayonnaise and cream cheese and onions and garlic. So it really had a nice taste to it. It was creamy, and they served it on toasted bread. I think they buttered the bread first and then grilled it, and it came out warm. And then you put the dip on there, the smoked dip, and they had capers to put on too. So it had kind of like a salty flavor too.
And I loved with the smoked shrimp dip that they put the capers and the mustard seeds on the side and the red onions on the side. So if you didn't want it on your specific toaster point, you didn't have to have it.
Right.
And so it gave it more of that fun kind of hanging out and
Right.
create your own
Yes.
little concoction right there at the table, which I love at restaurants when they do that. And we also had the fried chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay.
So good. and just that messy bite of,
Yes,
oh,
the
it was
juicy
juicy,
yes.
yes, juicy and crisp, and just that nice bite. You get all messy, and
It's worth it, right?
It's so worth it, and it's so much
Yeah.
fun, especially like going to different restaurants. It was just so much fun to have like that kind of back to your college days a little
Yeah,
bit,
exactly.
and just hanging out and not a care in the world, just having a good time.
Being comfortable.
Being comfortable, yes.
It had kind of an up north feel to it,
Yeah.
with the deer heads and the stuffed pheasant on the wall and the stuffed fish. And then it kind of felt too like a 1970s basement. And then they had the arcade games and the bubble hockey. That must have been your favorite.
Right.
Yeah, so the whole atmosphere was fun and cool.
Urban chic.
Urban
Chic,
yes.
yes. Nice.
Definitely knew you were in the city.
Of course, for game days, it's a great,
Perfect, yes.
great
Yes, it
location
is.
and great spot to go to, because you have a ton of, it's more of a bar. Yes, they have food and it's really good food, but it is more of the bar experience and just kind of hang out with friends, and you kind of get this, you've never met a lot of these people ever before, but you know, you're having a couple drinks and you're just singing along with everyone in the bar.
Suddenly everybody's friends.
Yeah, everyone's
They
friends.
make you feel
It's
like you're
yes.
at home.
It's very comfortable.
So are we going to say it's just bar food, only better? Right?
Yes, it is.
Yes, yeah. It's the second best.
For sure.
Well, as we wrap up, I'd like to say thank you to my guests this week, Leah, Melanie, and Paul. Thank you very much for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I'd also like to thank our restaurants this week, Voyager, Cuisine, and Second Best. Coming up next week on Dine and Dish Nation, they specialize in foul play as chicken-inspired dishes get high marks at Red Dung Kitchen. It's the best of the bayou in the D. Louisiana Creole Gumbo brings simple soul food to Eastern Market. And where to go for true Midwest yet contemporary cuisine in Detroit? We're headed to the Park. Join us next time for more real people, real food, and real reviews right here on Dine and Dish Nation. I'm Kam Carman. Thanks for being with us. First up, it's been called one of the 10 most exciting places to eat in America now. Voyager. That's what we were waiting for. Well, it's time to wrap up now, and I'd like to thank my guests for being with us. Leah, your glasses. And I'd also like to say thanks to our restaurants for the...